In this picture, I was addicted to crack cocaine and my baby was addicted to crack cocaine. I didn't even give her a chance to live. I couldn't control that addiction. Through the whole pregnancy, I was smoking. I was using drugs. I look at these pictures just to remember who this is, just to remember that this is not the person I want to be. I never want to go back there. I never want to be this person again. This is just a shell of a person. There was no feelings there. There was nothing. It was just me. By this time, I had already been in prison twice, and I was on my way back to prison for the third time because I was doing all kinds of things just to feed the addiction.
When my mom went to prison for the third time, I was 18 years old. I was with a lot of anger, a lot of resentment towards my mom. I had my own child at that point, from trying to find love and happiness in places, and probably not the best places. I have felt abandoned my whole life. I felt like I took on a responsibility of my little sister when I was at such a young age, and I had to try to teach her things that I never was taught myself. So, I was embarrassed of my mom sometime when she came around. We were both embarrassed, me and my sister. We didn't want to bring friends around. They already knew there was something wrong because she wasn't already there when other mothers were there anyway. So it was already, a thing to my friends. They kind of had an idea that, things were bad because it was a lot of pain and it was a lot of hurt and suffering growing up without a mom.
Once again I said my goodbyes to those I love most. My heart feels that familiar pain.
I just was going to every church service that was available on the yards. Well, I ended up in an alongside ministry service, and Catherine DuPont was giving the word that evening. And she was talking about allowing God to guide us. And she did this little demonstration. I was sitting on the front row, and she grabbed my hand. And she just walked me around in a circle, and she sat me back down. And she was just demonstrating how easy it is to just allow God to guide us. And that made so much sense to me at that moment. I was like, that's it. I need to just let God guide me. It works. I have just totally tried to surrender to God and just let Him guide me. So I'd been in and out of prison 3 times. This is my 3rd time coming out of prison. And I was nervous. I had some concerns. Am I going to make it? What does this look like? I can't go back. I got to do this. I had wanted to go home to be with my family. My daughter had just had newborn twins, and I wanted to be there to help her. But those doors closed. All the doors to my mom's house because of my background and because of the housing they lived in. I couldn't go there. The only door that remained open was here to Alongside Ministries. And I walked through that door, and I'm so glad I did. When I got out of prison, I wanted to see my family. I just wanted to jump right in there and go hang out and just see how they were doing. But Debbie cautions against that. Alongside Ministries and Debbie, the director of the women's ministry, she likes to make contact with the family. She wants to make sure it's safe. She wants to make sure that they want to see us. They're open to having a relationship with us. And I was prayerful, and I waited. It was some waiting I needed to do, and I did. I said, okay, Debbie, do it. So she contacted my family, and she had them come up from Tucson, my mom and my daughter and her daughters and my sister and my mentor and her husband were there. And it was a really good time. My daughter, though, she was still upset. She was still upset. There was some work that needed to be done there. And I prayed about it. And I knew that I needed to go. I needed to go down there and spend some time with them. But I was nervous about that. I thought I needed to stay away from Tucson because Tucson's where I got in trouble. Well, I was in a meeting with my case manager from Alongside Ministries. Linda Sherrod was her name. And she encouraged me to go to Tucson. She told me, you need to You need to reconcile those relationships. You need to work on that. So I went to Tucson, and I'm so glad I did, because today I have this amazing relationship with all three of my daughters and all of my family. God has been so faithful in reconciling these relationships. And I just thank him for that, because it's good. It is really good. I mean, it's true reconciliation has taken place here.
I tell you, Melissa is living proof that God is still working miracles. I prayed and prayed and waited, and if you wait on the Lord, he will renew your strength. And I'm just so glad that God has just proven that he can bring families back together, he can restore, he can renew, he can revive, and I thank him for that. He is such an awesome God. We give him all the glory in Jesus' name.
You make me happy.